Alright, well this is over by the pump house entrance at Dutch Springs, and this is sort of like an old storage unit or something. And it's always a nice place to start your dive, get warmed up. This is coming out of the water. Keep in mind that I'm using an olive jar here with my camera in it because underwater camera housings are expensive. And this is the first amenity that I like to dive. This is the fire truck, which is at about 20 feet maybe, give or take. It's a good way to warm up. It's nice to know that fire trucks are eventually going to a good cause. I work my way over to the helicopter. And this is the tail end of the helicopter, which is probably submerged at about maybe 30-some feet. I was fortunate to have a nice day. Plenty of sunshine. Waters felt good. This is then working my way over to the front of the helicopter, which is a Sikorsky H-37. And there's some divers there just practicing. Making their descent on the Sikorsky. You could hear me on basically just calming down, sort of hyperventilating a little bit, relaxing, taking in some deep breaths to get ready for the dive. Breath hold dive. There we go. There it is. I remember the first time that I actually was able to make it to the helicopter. It was really quite the accomplishment. Now it's just second nature. Get out the way, fool. And then I worked my way over to the airplane, which is submerged at about 25 feet, maybe 30 feet, something like that. Some divers there, going over some maps, no doubt, of Dutch Springs, some topographical maps that Dutch Springs offers to divers. Me, I'm very acquainted with the place, so I've been going there for a long time. As usual, resting, relaxing, getting ready to dive. Breath hold diving requires a lot of rest and relaxation of your mind and of your breathing, of your heart rate. Your heart rate needs to sort of be slowed down a little bit. You want to be able to hold your breath for as long as you can without panicking. A few more divers there. Diver on the left, this woman, she waves to me when I go down, which is kind of nice. It's always nice for someone to say hello to you, even under the water. The airplane is always fun because it's sort of easy to hit and it's just kind of cool. Hello. Hello. Yeah, you too. Hello. Thank you. And back over again. I'll hit the helicopter. You can hear me sort of equalize my airspace, my pressure. I always make a little bit of a noise when I do that. It's the inside of the Sikorsky. I should have actually went through it. I should have swam through it. I've done that before in the past. I would have made a better video, but I also was holding an olive jar, keep in mind. So it's kind of cool that I actually can hear some audio through the glass, so that's kind of cool. And I sort of put my camera in the olive jar with a towel that I stole from the YMCA, sort of packed it in there with the towel, and it worked. So I was sort of kind of ready to sacrifice the camera if it did not work, if it failed. But fortunately, it works, so I'll hit the airplane again. And after the airplane here, I'm going to go over to what they call the island, which is a nice way to sort of end the day. Hang out there at the island and just sort of float around. Check out the fish. That's the inside of the airplane. It's my olive jar clanking up against the airplane, which I'm glad it didn't bust. A few more divers there. I have to admit that I like to sort of kind of be playful around scuba divers who are basically imprisoned with their gear and sort of dependent on their gear. Where I'm free, I'm not dependent on anything other than using my fins, my mask and snorkel, and of course a light wetsuit. Which, by the way, if you go to Dutch Springs, it's their requirements that you actually wear a wetsuit for buoyancy. And the wetsuit does help with buoyancy. And this is basically a spring-fed sort of quarry, which is also known as a lake, but it's more of a quarry that's been flooded, and so it's cold. The water actually gets pretty cold the deeper you go. So wear your wetsuit. And I was able to get this guy. There's usually more fish here, and this fish was the only fish really that I saw there on this day. But sometimes there are just numerous fish that hang out there, lay their eggs. It's a good way to end the dive. Dutch Springs. Check it out.